Hopefully I've met most of you by now, but I'm so happy to be here today. Anytime we cut the ribbon on Homeless Solutions property, it's exciting. But this one was really personal to me because of one of the families that will be moving in. So I just kind of wanted to tell a little background on that story, and you can see their picture here. It was summer of 2013 when I first met Melissa. It was my first week working at Homeless Solutions. And as part of my training, I was taking tours of other agencies in the community to try to learn more about the resources that were available to our families. I was mid-tour at a local health clinic when a nurse approached me in the hallway. And she said, "You work for Homeless Solutions, right?" And I was first week on the job, nice and fresh. I said, "Well, yes, I do." But she very seriously looked at me and she said, "We need your help." And she took me into the lobby where Melissa was there with her children, and they said, "We have nowhere to go tonight." Melissa, like so many of the families that we see at Homeless Solutions, had fallen upon hard times. She had experienced a job loss, and she got evicted from where she was living. She had family members that wanted to help, but when you're a family of 5, it's really hard to couch surf. So to make a long story short, we were able to bring them into our emergency shelter, where her and her 4 children shared a single room with bunk beds for 6 months. Despite that crowded condition, they were so happy. And the thing about Melissa's kids is they're so happy. They're the sweetest kids, they're the most giving kids. I told a story earlier how they knocked on my door on Tuesday because they wanted to make Valentines for their classmates because she couldn't buy them for them. They're always wanting to give things that they don't have, and that's why they became so special to us. And Melissa was very successful in our shelter. She was able to get a new job, and she moved down to our transitional housing program, where she then had more time to work on the goals that she was trying to achieve. But unfortunately, while she was in our transitional housing program, she hit a major roadblock. And it was a roadblock that's really not typical for families that we see in transitional housing. She experienced an injury at work, and she became permanently disabled, and she could no longer work at all. So here she was about to run out of time in our transitional housing program, and all of that fear that she had that day in the lobby that I saw her, it came back. She didn't know where she was going to go. And to be honest with you, my staff and I looked at each other so many days and said, what are we going to do? She had no income. She was waiting for disability to be approved. She had nowhere to go again. Probably one of the saddest days in my career, and I hope I don't cry when I say it, was a day where I was driving from our transitional housing program to our administrative offices on Dumont, and I was taking the back roads to avoid the traffic, because you can't be late for Dan McGuire. But as I'm driving through this beautiful neighborhood in Morris Plains, I see Melissa's oldest son. He was 12 years old at the time. He was supposed to be in school at the time, and he was walking up and down the neighborhood, writing down the phone numbers on all the realtor signs that he saw. They wanted so badly to have a home, and all of the kids wanted to have a home. So fast forward to a month ago, January 2018, I finally got to say the words that she had been waiting 4.5 years to hear. I printed out a picture of 24 Walnut, and I brought it to her in the kitchen of transitional housing, and I said, "We have a home for you." And that's pretty much the end of the story. They're going to be here hopefully next week. And then for the first time in so long, her children are going to have a place to call their own. They're going to feel like normal kids. They're going to have sleepovers. They're going to open the fridge and be able to take out a snack when they want. And those are things they haven't been able to do since that summer when I saw them in the health clinic in the lobby. So thank you all for making this possible for them and for us and for everything you do to make sure that all of our families have that kind of success.